This is a phonograph recording of Lady Sarah Paxton, sharing my memories of the tragedy of my dearest late husband, Joseph. On the day of the incident, I was waiting for Joseph on the bridge above Scarborough train station, looking down on my favourite train station bench. A fantastic folly, long and painted blue. It is said to be the longest railway bench in the world, and one can often see Scarborough's distinguished visitors gathered there. Intending to meet Joseph at the train station, I began my walk along Beaulieu Terrace, and I invite you to retrace my steps with me. I followed the narrow Sneakleway that crosses directly above the longest bench. I had already noticed the smoke rising up in the distance, even before Joseph's train arrived from London. Looking to my right, I saw thick, dark clouds behind the crescent, and at first thought that there was a fire at the Scarborough Art Gallery. The path on Beaulieu Terrace turned left, leading to the pretty little brick archway which marks the end of Beaulieu Terrace and the beginning of Victoria Parade. Not wanting to dirty my dress next to all the motor cars on the main road, I took a diversion through the first alleyway on my right, leading me to Arundel Place. Fearing that I would be late for Joseph's arrival, I joined the main road of Westborough and followed it past the Tile Importing Company, all the way to Scarborough train station. When Joseph stepped off the train, he already seemed scared, agitated, as though some omen or ill feeling had given him foresight of the events that were to follow. He hardly greeted me at all, which was not normal for him. He left the train station in a great hurry and ran over the road to the red phone box to make a call. I followed, but stayed outside to give him his privacy. I don't know who he called, but from the outside of the red phone box, I did see the numbers that he dialed. I've always had a fantastic memory for numbers, an elephant's memory, my dear mother used to say. The numbers were 8, 4, 4, 4, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. After that, he rushed to the town centre, to the shoe repair shop, to pick up the shoes he had left before his trip. I don't recall names as well as I do numbers, though. Maybe the name of the shoe repair shop began with the letter T. I cannot say. Seeing that he was still vexed, I tried to do my duty as a wife, to reassure him, to bring him some good cheer. I made a familiar family joke about Wee Andy, the charming movie mannequin in the shop window. I asked Wee Andy if he could tell me the time, but as always he didn't answer. Joseph wasn't to be calmed, though. He seemed to already know that the fire was coming from the spa, from his beloved music hall. He pulled me urgently into the street, and we set off along Vernon Road in great haste. And as we moved quickly through the town toward the Crescent, Joseph continued to mutter about the corporation and about the real source of the spa water. I guess his words were not meant for my ears, because he never mentioned them again. But sometimes I do wonder who he called in such a hurry, and whether things may have been different if his call was received. My poor Joseph, I miss him so.